Hello crafters! Today I am showing you my advent calendar that I made a month or a month and a half ago. I tend to wait really last minute before I decide that I want to make one, and it just feels rushed and it's not great. So this year I was very intentional about using my time and thinking things through and finding good resources. So I am using the Carrie Bradford extra large number stamp here. I believe it's called Jordan. And I just really like the overhanging look where you can still tell what number it is, but it kind of just hangs over a little bit. I have some white circles and some pattern paper circles. Now they are a part of last year's Faith Heirlooms Advent Printables that they gave out to email subscribers. And I thought this is a perfect way to use those because by the time I print them, it's always after Christmas. So this just worked out really well. I liked how everything kind of went together. So here is the vellum, and I'm using vellum to create envelopes. So this kind of envelope and a coin-like envelope. And then I have the negative from the circles that I cut out that I also put on the front of the envelopes, and I use scraps for the bottom. So here I'm showing you all the printables that came with it, and I'm dividing them into piles. There are 4 cards per pile, and so there's 4 sections. So I have a hymn to sing, I have a Bible verse to read, I have a need to fill or something that we can do with friends or family, and then I have a prayer. And they're all like very specific to the people around us, the people in our family, the people in our lives, and the needs of the community that we are aware of. So I'm using staples to close all my envelopes. I'm not a huge fan of how double-sided tape looks in vellum, on vellum, because you can see through it, and then glue makes things super bubbly. So I'm not a fan of using glue. So here I'm making the coin envelopes, and I just had a rectangle which I folded on each side, on the left and right side, and then stapled, and then I used the scrap pattern paper for the bottom, as I said earlier. And I don't even think I closed the tops. I just left the tops open since I have them in a basket. So I use the printables to make the envelopes and to decorate the envelopes here. As you can see, this little angel one, that one is actually printed in half size, as the angels are fairly large. I actually had to cut them down a little bit because I used the regular sized ones for cards, and their wings are so massive that it did not fit in my envelopes. So I'm attaching the bottom here with double-sided tape, and then I use some foam tape to pop up the number there to give it a little bit of dimension. And I like having my printables sometimes just bleeding off the side. And then you can spread out your printables too by doing that. You can have more of a frame there, since it's such small space. Now, the regular type envelopes, as I said, with the glue, it bubbles. So I ended up sewing the negative space onto the front of the envelopes, and some of the envelopes I sewed the numbers on just the 2 sides. I don't know if you noticed that earlier. I did a little bit of stitching on the left and the right to keep it in place, but I really didn't do that much sewing for the actual envelopes that just had the numbers. So here I'm stapling again. And here are the cards. If you could see that like brief second, I typed up all the prayers, all the Bible verses, the hymn, and the things to do on Word, and then I printed it out on clear sticker paper, and then I put it on top of the card. Now all the cards are plain. I did not decorate them. They're kind of have a lot on them already. But for the ones that could add a little extra decoration, if Faith Heirlooms does the Advent printables again this year, I'm going to print them out and have my girls decorate the individual cards themselves so that they can feel kind of more involved in the project. So here is the final look at all the envelopes. As you can see, the coin ones I did not close, and I didn't fasten the other envelopes closed either. I just kind of left them open. The basket kind of keeps them in pretty well. I love the final look. It's really simple, but looks really neat. And there, so one of the printables was coin envelope, or was some coin envelopes. So there's a few of those scattered in here. And then, as you can see, a lot of the printables are a little bit large, so they do kind of hang off the edges times here, but I felt like I definitely had the right amount of printables to do this project. And I look forward to seeing how my girls will decorate their own, the individual cards on their